Hey guys, I thought I'd try and record some books. So the first one I'm going to record is Mr. Happy and the Office Party. So let's have a look. I've not read this before. We're going to discover it together. Mr. Happy was usually a very happy fellow, but this was the morning after the office party, and Mr. Happy didn't feel quite so happy. In fact, he felt like elephants were stamping on his brain and like he might be sick. This is the story of how it happens. And there he is, looking not so happy. It was another normal day in the office. Mr. Grumble was grumbling about the printer. Little Miss Chatterbox was chattering at the water cooler. And Little Miss Bossy had called a meeting about the new meeting process for meetings. Mr. Happy and Little Miss Magic had spent the first hour of the day emailing each other funny cat pictures. The boss, Mr. Uppity, a self-made man who had built his company from nothing but his father's millions, made an announcement. Tonight, there'll be an office party with free drinks for everyone, he declared. One plastic cupful per staff member, he said quickly, backing into his solid gold office. And there he is, Mr. Uppity. Little Miss Organised Fun appointed herself head of party games and enforced a strict fancy dress code. You have to join in or you'll spoil it for everyone, she sang. All the little misses rushed to the ladies' loo to fight over the one mirror, the one plug socket, and the one chance to attract a one vaguely attractive Mr. Man in the office. But it wasn't only the little misses making an effort. Mr. Silly has donned his comedy tie, which is just as hilarious as it was the year before. There we go, have a look. That's cool. Running around telling everyone. It's so nice to get away from work, said Mr. Smalltalk, as they stood around the office talking about work. Mr. Happy made a beeline for the one bowl of crisps, but got cornered by Little Miss Chatterbox. My youngest is potty training and has a tooth coming through, she said. Do you want to see a video of him playing Fragaka on the xylophone? They all danced awkwardly in a circle and hoped the boss would leave soon. And there they are, all dancing around. Mr. Fussy put in an appearance, only to say he wouldn't be attending the party. He was just there to put a note on the frig saying, would the individual who keeps using my soya milk kindly deposit 87 pence on my desk? I buy this milk specifically because I am highly intolerant and gastrointestinal distress is not a laughing matter. I hope you catch the thief, said Mr. Happy, laughing. Perhaps it's the same person who takes all the forks. Do you know where the forks go? And there he is. He's not very happy, is he? Mr. Grumpy also didn't want to be there. He had made it clear he was not a party person. And so he wasn't best pleased when he was selected as one of the contestants in Little Miss Organised Fun's Office Crystal Maze. There he is, looking very grumpy indeed. Papers flying everywhere. When Mr. Happy finally escaped from the Aztec zone, the stationery cupboard, he went to find Little Miss Magic. For some reason, the office party always seemed a lot more fun when he was with her. But instead, he got stuck talking to Mr. Noisy. Mr. Noisy had a habit of talking very loudly and had no sense of personal space. Haven't seen you in a while, shouted Mr. Noisy. Not avoiding me, are you? He also had halitosis. And there he is, his massive mouth, and that horrible smell coming out. Little Miss Magic seemed to have vanished, so Mr. Happy went to talk to the new guy, who appeared to be drinking alone. Don't you think we've met? I'm Mr. Happy, he said. What's your name? Mr. Nobody, the man said, from accounts. I've worked here for 10 years. Of course, I know who you are, said Mr. Happy, instantly forgetting the man's name. Ah, it's Mr. Happy and Mr. Nobody. The one bowl of crisps were running dangerously low, so Mr. Happy went to find Mr. Mean, who was in charge of petty cash. These are times of austerity, said Mr. Mean. We just don't have the funds for these sort of things. We've all got to tighten our belts. Mr. Mean then excused himself, saying he had to go and check on something. And there he is, checking on all the money. Mr. Funny, the self-proclaimed office comedian, silenced the party once again with an inappropriate joke. And everyone tried to ignore the elephant in the room. There we go, that's the elephant. Massive. Mr. Happy wondered if 5:30 was too early to leave. But then little Miss Maggie appeared, as if by sorcery. Sausage roll, she said, holding out a platter of snacks. How did you get those? Said Mr. Happy. You got enough to feed the 5,000. Magic, she replied. Now let's go turn some water into wine. And off they went, narrowly escaping Mr. Tickle's wondering hands. And there's Mr. Tickle trying to tickle them. Little Miss Magic introduced Mr. Happy to her friend, Magic Dave from the sales, who was a wizard at getting the party started. The C3 man from accounts appeared next to them. Who's your friend? Said Dave. This is Mr. Nobody, said Mr. Nobody. Can I get anyone a drink? Said Dave. Mr. Happy nodded. What harm could one more drink do? And there they all are. Mr. Happy didn't remember anything after that. But when he finally arrived at work the next day, little Miss Chatterbox was more than happy to fill him in. Mr. Happy watched in horror as she showed him a video of him twerking Mr. Uppity's desk. There was only one thing that could save him now. He's headed straight for the biscuit barrel. Look at them there. Bless them. It was empty. Oh no! Looking for these, said little Miss Magic, snapping him back to reality. She was holding a packet of hobnobs. Where did you... How... stuttered Mr. Happy. Magic. Not really. I keep them in here, she said, opening a drawer full of biscuits, soy milk and forks. For the first time that day, Mr. Happy smiled. He smiled again when Mr. Mean was transferred to the Kuwait office. They were able to buy as many crisps as they liked. But do you know what made him smile the most? Look at them there. When little Miss Magic gave him access to her drawers. Ah. And that's the end.